So I'm sitting here playing this game and I wanted to give you some commentary over this. This is going to be a long video, so hopefully you guys check this out. So I appreciate it if you would like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I really would appreciate it. But this game is Capcom Fighting Jam, and I wanted to play this and give you guys some of my insight because I never really completed this game. This is a game I never really completed. So this was something very new to me, even though I had this game on Xbox. So I started playing, and I realized that this game was a little bit too easy, and I think it was on default settings. So I wanted to give myself a challenge. So what I did, I ended up quitting out, and I wanted to jump into the game with the harder difficulty level. So I went back out, and I wanted to start over, and it was on 3 stars. I think the default is on 2, but I put it on 4. And that's when I went in and I wanted to play the game. So I'm gonna give you my thoughts and opinions on this game as I played it, because I haven't played this game in probably about 20 years. It's been a very long time since I played it. Like I said, I bought it for the original Xbox, and it's just been sitting on my shelf. Like, this is a game that a lot of people would say, like, this is like the worst fighting game ever when it comes to fighting games or Capcom games. So I was like, you know what, I want to get the trophy of actually completing this game. So I might as well, challenge myself while doing it. So like I said, this is gonna be a long video because I used a handful of continues, because towards the end it got a little bit rough. But hopefully you guys hang out with me, because I'm going to sit here and commentate over this, because I was going to commentate while I was fighting, but if you can see in the video, my son is behind me, and I didn't want him to like interrupt, because he does interrupt and ask me a few things throughout the video. So which is fine, that's what typical kids do. So it is what it is. So in this first match, I decided to pick Shin Akuma and Sakura, and I realized that this game is very unbalanced. But one thing I do like about the game that some people think that makes it look ugly, I do like the cameos in the background. I wish the art style was a little bit better, but I do like the cameos. Got Dhalsim in the back. You have also Sagat, and I think you got Adon as well. So I thought that was really cool. But this Shin Akuma is basically from Capcom vs SNK 2, and he plays just like him, and he can be OP, and he loses a lot of damage against certain characters, I noticed. But Sakura, she is from the Street Fighter Alpha series. I think this is she's from Street Fighter Alpha 2 in this game. But nevertheless, also Guy, I think Guy is also from the Street Fighter Alpha series in this game. And Zangief is from, I want to say, the regular Street Fighter 2. But they just mixed and matched so many players in this game, and I was like, well, that's one of the issues with this game. They mixed and matched everybody in the game and didn't balance anything. So this whole game was actually weird. It was crazy how it was put together, and it wasn't really perceived well. But I do like the fact that it is a part of the Capcom Fighting Collection too. And because I don't want to be playing this game on my Xbox for various reasons. One of the reasons is the fact that I don't necessarily have a good arcade stick for the original Xbox, and the one I do have is just not good enough for these type of games. These games I don't know why, it's kind of weird. It doesn't jive well with the Street Fighter games, but I can play Dead or Alive with that same arcade stick. It's weird. I like the fact that they still have the animation when she kicks off her Converse or whatever, and it kicks off and it hits her in the head. I thought that's really cool. So, but yeah, I think this game, it does have its flaws. It does have its problems. But I will say this, to be quite honest, throughout this game, I really enjoyed my time with this game. So in this match, I'm playing against Felicia from Darkstalkers and Urien from Street Fighter 3. I think I would say Third Strike. Now in the background, you see Fei Long in the background. He's on the boat, and I take it that they're in Hong Kong, because he's from Hong Kong, so I will just say that's what it is. And yeah, like the first few matches are kind of easy. That's how it is in an arcade style setting. But turn around, it gets harder later. Like, I think, who was that in the back? Heisenko? I don't know if I said that right, but she's from Darkstalkers as well. And they have a Yin and Yang, the Yang from Street Fighter 3 as well as in the background. I don't know who those two ladies are. I'm pretty sure somebody else will let me know. But here's Urien from Street Fighter 3. And he's also in Street Fighter 5 as well. But I think he's Seth's brother or something like that. I know the lore of Street Fighter, but I can't really. I play so many games, so I do forget some small details. But this match is kind of interesting because, like I said, these guys are totally busted and imbalanced because these two characters are not supposed to be in the game together. You know, I mean, this is one character from Capcom vs SNK 2, which is from the Naomi board in, I think, what, Street Fighter 3. Is it from Naomi or is it from CPS 3? I can't remember. Like I said, the small details I can't remember, but I know that Street Fighter Alpha 3 was not made on a Naomi board. I mean, it was converted to a Naomi board, but nevertheless, this match up was kind of weird, but it was kind of intense as well. You know, this is the thing about like fighting games in general. I love getting a good match and good challenge. I don't know all the combos. I know like some basic moves. I can get a little casual combo in, but at the end of the day, I am going to be somewhat, I ain't gonna say struggling, but I'm not like a professional. It's not like I'm Justin Wong or Maximilian over here. But I do love playing these games, and I feel like these games are absolutely fun to play. Like any 2D fighter, I'll try, and if it's Capcom or an SNK games, what's the other, Mortal Kombat, I can play those all day long, and obviously the 3D fighters, which I've learned to like those a little bit better. But nevertheless, in this match you have Ibuki. I think Ibuki's at the top, above E Honda. You have E Honda right there, and then you have Maki. She's from a Final Fight. You got Dan and Mikado. I think it's Mikado from Street Fighter 3 and 4 back there as well. And I do like the fact they have the old Street Fighter, Super Street Fighter 2. I think they have the poster in the back. I think that's really neat. Like the thing about it is this the backgrounds are ugly. I'm not going to sit here and say that they look cooler. I mean, they're ugly, but I think they're cool in their own way, because I do love like games that have cameo appearances, or they just give you a reference of something else that's in the universe. I always think that is pretty cool, but I still think that this game is nowhere near as good as quality as the other games. But I do feel that it has a spot. And like I said, I do appreciate Capcom for putting this in the collection, because they didn't have to. They could have just forgot about this game. Now, this is Leo from Red Earth, which this is another game I need to get into. Red Earth is a game that I've always wanted to have myself, and the game never came out on any consoles until the actual, I think it was the Marvel vs. Not the Marvel vs. Capcom collection. I can't remember what it was. It was Capcom Fighting Collection 1, I think. I think it was that. It came out with that, and I had to pick that up immediately, Red Earth. And it was a game that I've always wanted to get into, but they just kind of forgot about giving us that game in the West, and I guess in general, because it wasn't really released in Japan either. But nevertheless, beat up on Leo, and we're going to be fighting Rose for we already beat Rose, I'm sorry. So we're going to keep moving. One thing I haven't talked about as far as the mechanics of this game is that this game has a weird mechanic where you can tag in and out your players based on the round. Like, as I face one person, I can switch over to the other person, and I guess when you get both rounds done, or if you beat both opponents, you win. Because you get, like, if I die like right now, I can put Shinakuma back in and never fight with Sakura at all. And I thought that was kind of unique or different how they did that, because you would think, like, let's say with Capcom vs. SNK 1, they really would just, after you lose that person, they're done for the game. And I think it's kind of more of an SNK mechanic, but yeah, that's how it was. So I'm fighting Hydron right here. And I think Hydron is from Red Earth as well. Like I said, I'm not really familiar with Red Earth, but I'm looking at the power gauge, so I'm guessing that's Red Earth, because I know that's not Darkstalker. So fighting this character, I have to stay away from this character, because this character's been whooping up on me. So I'm playing a little keep away here, because every time they got in, they took a lot of damage from me. And this is nothing with Shinakuma. He loses a lot of damage in this game, and based on certain characters, like you will see later on in this video, that how much life that he actually loses is actually insane, how bad it is. But this is what we're dealing with, right? So I switched over to Sakura even though I won that match, and I'm fighting Dimitri. Now Dimitri is no joke in this game. He is pretty tough. He's pretty tough in Darkstalkers. He's actually tough in Capcom versus SNK. Oh, I mean SNK SVC Chaos, SNK versus Capcom. So you see that he's putting a number on me right now, and luckily I got that. But I can't remember if I beat this or do I have to bring Shinakuma back in, and that's what I was, I had to deal with, trying to keep away from him because he is very, very, he's very good in this game. And I don't know if it's because of the imbalancing or whatever, but yeah, I had trouble with him, and you see right there, I lose. So I switch over and I bring Shinakuma back in. Like, I think actually, like right here, you'll see I can still pick Sakura and bring her back in just by pressing 2 kick buttons, which I still find that kind of funny how they do that. But here's the final round. Dimitri probably should have stayed back in, probably had a better chance of beating me in this one. But here we go. We're going in, and once again, I'm using that same strategy. I'm just gonna stay away from, I'm just gonna stay away, and I'm not gonna sit here and try to fight straight up, because when I do lose a lot of damage. But I managed to get a little bit of licks in, so I guess it worked out. But my initial strategy was to stay away, and yeah, you see that one hit. Look at this. Look how much life I'm losing. Like, this is what I'm talking about. So once again, I'm trying to, back, stay back, because if I don't, this could be an issue. So yeah, 'cause I do not want any problems. I want to try to finish this game, which I am going to struggle later in this game, but it's just going to be what it is, So I'm trying to keep them away. That's basically what I'm trying to do. And I get the W, I get the win. And yeah, we're going on to the next round. And this is pretty cool because of the fact that I really was worried about not necessarily beating this that match because of what happened. But nevertheless, we go to the next round. And like I said, I do, as I've been playing this, throughout this time I've been playing, you can see I was actually somewhat enjoying it. And I was starting to think, like, this game is, for a single player, I think this game is actually okay. Some people say this is the worst fighting game, but I think it's okay. So I think, who's that up there? Is that Oro from Street Fighter 3? He's just in his cocoon. Like, if you play Street Fighter 3, you would know, like, before you fight Oro, he's in his cocoon and he comes down and he fights you, or whatever the case may be. But this looks more like a stage from SVC Chaos, SNK versus Capcom, and look like might be Akuma, or his stage. And this is where things kind of go left a little bit, because Chun-Li and Ryu, some people say Ryu. This is where things get rough. Like, these two right here are a menace. They beat my behind like a few times. So this is where most of the matches are going to be, trying to beat these two. So this is where things get fun, I guess. So I beat Chun-Li, then I'm facing Ryu, and Ryu is like OP in this game. He is very overpowered. Now, this is the Street Fighter 2 version of Ryu, I think. I think it's the Street Fighter 2 version. It hasn't classified as Street Fighter 2, but it seems like he has all the moves from Capcom versus SNK 1. I mean, he even has the sprite of Capcom versus SNK 1. So I take it that this is the version of him, and it would make sense because this is a Naomi game, and Capcom versus SNK 1 is a Naomi game, so it makes sense. They got him classified under Street Fighter 2 moniker, but he's literally like maybe like Super Turbo type Ryu, or even even more OP than that. But I do end up losing a handful of times here, but we're going to talk about why I lost and how we do this. Now, at the same time, my son is talking to me, you'll see that. And this is nothing. The Chun-Li in this game is the Street Fighter 3 version of Chun-Li, the third strike version. So she has like parries and all this other stuff that I don't have access to, or none of the, like, most of the other characters don't have access to. So she can get around a lot of stuff in this game, kind of similar like Urian when I played him earlier. So that's why I say these two particular characters, they really, like, a lot of these characters don't need to be in the game together. And if they are, they have to do a lot of changes and a lot of things to actually balance them out. And I think this is one of the reasons why people hate this game, because it was not done properly to make things happen. So I end up losing this match. I think I end up losing, like, well, I ain't gonna tell how many times I lost. It's just, you'll see. It's just kind of crazy. So I almost like give up and say I'm not going to play this anymore. I was like, yeah, I'm good, but I really wanted to get that trophy, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it because, and not only that, I want to put this content out there because I wanted to show you guys that, when I'm gaming, this is what I go through. Like sometimes I have those issues where um you just have your struggles or whatever the case may be, but you keep going through it. In any other fighting game, for the most part, like all the other ones that I play, I wouldn't have these type of struggles unless if I have it on a real higher difficulty, like 6, 7, 8 stars. But this is a 4-star game, and I know it's based on arcade, and but I was struggling because I'm not really used to this particular game. Like I played this game like a few dozen times back on the original Xbox, and I played the game back then with the Xbox S controller, not the Duke, but the other controller. So it was a time. So this is like, to be quite honest, this is like the first time with me also playing this game with an arcade stick. So it is, it does make it a little bit smoother for the experience. But man, that was a hell of a kick by Chun-Li. That was crazy. But yeah, she has like EX moves and all this other stuff. So it's like she has a super advantage. So, but nevertheless, I keep trying to go through. She jumps over and uses Ryu on the next one. And I'm actually surprised at that. But you will see, look at the power that Shin Akuma takes off the rip. Those was 2 shots. And look at that. I lost like 80% of my life. It's insane how bad it is with Shin Akuma. Like I was saying earlier, like you lose a lot of life with him. And I started to question why I was using him in this game. Like I did question it a little bit. And I was like, man, I don't know what's going on here. Why did I do this to myself? But hey, I keep pushing on, and I want to see if I can make it. So yeah, it is what it is. So like I said, you see it here, like Ryu's in the Street Fighter spot, third strike is Chun-Li, and hey, it is what it is. And they are very, I don't know if is it because of the difficulty, but they're really overpowered against me in this game. They have a lot of moves. The difficulty level is ratchet up a little bit, and I really struggle with them for a little bit. But like I said, it really is. I really get enjoyment out of figuring out how to beat the CPU. Like I know some people love to play online, and online is their thing. And I don't get me wrong, I get it. Some people want to play online and get rep by playing people online and all this other stuff. And I'm not against it. It's just for me, when I like to play games, I just like to enjoy myself and try to push and challenge myself. I don't necessarily try to want to be the best online or whatever. And to me, that it doesn't mean nothing to me anymore. I can't even remember the time they actually did, but it is what it is. So with that being said, I love playing this way and just having fun. And I think that this is honestly one of the most therapeutic ways to play. I don't know. It's just something that I think about sometimes. But nevertheless, let's get back into the game. Once again, Chun-Li just beats up on me again, and I'm fighting Ryu this time. And Ryu is in the game, and I don't know what happens here. I just know that I do struggle, and it doesn't help that my son is talking to me as well. He is so happy that I think he got something. I think he beat a level that he was playing, and he wanted to show me. And I told him that he could show me when I'm done, and he didn't care. He was just happy. And I kind of glanced over there and looked at him a little bit as well. So, but you can see him in my face. I'm like, man, I am determined to try to beat these guys, and I end up losing again. I'm looking, I'm like, oh, okay, and he just wanted to show me that he got something. But this is like a really cool thing, like my son loves the game. He watches me game. He doesn't necessarily get really involved, but he knows that I'm playing. It's cool. He doesn't really trip or whatever. He just wanted to show me, and it is what it is. So, but I end up losing again. Jumping back into this, and I'm picking the same characters because I want to beat it with the same characters. I don't want to be in a situation where I try to use so many characters, and it also helps me actually learn the mechanics of the characters in game. So that's why I didn't really jump into any other games or whatever, or any other characters or whatever. I just wanted to really try to beat this with these guys, and here we go again. I am going up against, And this is the thing, Chun-Li don't really take that much life from Shinakuma like that. Like you can see like she hits and oh that was a whiff. And I'm actually having a pretty decent matchup where but as soon as Ryu comes in, well that was kind of okay. I might want to take that back because she did hit me a couple of times and took damn near all my life. But when I fight against Ryu, it's all bets are off. I mean, when I have Shinakuma, he's a menace. It's like I gotta find a way to get through this, and I just be working at it and trying to find a way. But we still be grinding, trying to fight on and find ways to get around whatever type of onslaught they bring. And I like Sakura. I do like that hurricane kick with the kick at the end. Like she'll do a hurricane kick and then hit you after she lands on the ground. I think that is a really cool mechanic. And I'm not sure if that's in any other game. I don't remember seeing that in Street Fighter Alpha or whatever case may be. But nevertheless, I do. I think I managed to beat Ryu on this. But I think I have trouble with Chun-Li. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But the low kicks are just like clutch. You know, they're like getting it in and he throws me there. And yeah, the low kicks are like clutch. They just come through for me. And yeah, that time the shoe doesn't come off. But hey, I'm not complaining there. But I think we end up going up against Chun-Li. I bring in Shinakuma again, which probably is not the best idea on this one. Because I think, yeah, like I said, I'm not going to tell you how many times I lost against these guys, but it probably wasn't the best idea because Chun-Li is, she's a menace in this game too because she's probably like the best player in this game or the best character because of her moveset. It's really good, and you have to find a way to zone her out. Or, you know, when you are in close, you got to make sure your kicks are on, or your combos are on point because she will, you know, yeah, you see what I mean? You got to be on point because if you're not, she will find ways, you know, and that's the biggest issue that I had with fighting these two. It wasn't necessarily Ryu for the most part. It was mostly Chun-Li. If I can get through Chun-Li, then I know I have a fighting chance. You know, so I just keep going, keep grinding with it, and we go in with the same two characters, going to be fighting the same two characters, and like I said, it is what it is, and I do get a little bit frustrated because like I really want to beat it, and you know you probably see it on my face that I look like I'm focused, but then again I probably just look like I'm kind of pissed, but hey, I keep going on with it, and I want to beat this game, and it's easy to go get the trophies, and like you get a trophy for completing the game. It's easy to get a complete trophy. You put it on 0 stars or whatever, just run through it real quick. But I just don't see any. I don't see any fun in that. I just don't. So I gotta have somewhat of a. I have somewhat of a challenge. But yeah, there we go. We got through Chun-Li, so I may be able to get through this this match. I can't remember if I do or not. I may end up losing. I don't know. But we're going to look and see. So Sakura's going up against Ryu. We're in a different outfit. Maybe that helps matters. And let's see. So we're going in. And Ryu took some damage from Sakura. I don't know if this is a Ryu thing or whatever, but he takes a lot of damage on his hits. You know, and like I dread going up against him with Shinakuma because he's like has like 3 hits and Shin is done. I mean, and that's how it is in Capcom vs. SNK too. So it's not like it's exclusive to this game. You play with Shinakuma on Capcom vs. SNK 2, or maybe even on the first one as well. You have that same issue to where he takes a lot of power. Like he's ratio 4 on those games, but he still takes a lot of power. You know, and that's just how it is. So now I got to go back up against Chun-Li again. So I may fall short on this as well because Chun-Li, like I said, even though Ryu is I can manage Ryu a little bit better. I have to really worry about Chun-Li in these matches. You know, Ryu, like I said, if I can get around Chun-Li and get to Ryu, I do have my chance. But the thing about it is, I let him beat Sakura, and look at that throw. Like, you see what I mean? Like, it's insane with her skill set. Like, she is so good. Like she just parried all 3 of those hits on the fireball. Like, what am I supposed to do with that, right? Like, what am I supposed to do, right? So she wins that one as well. And yeah, we're going to be jumping into another match against them. So it is what it is. Like, so I jump back in, same characters, you know how it goes. And I want to say this is the time I beat him. I think I went through 4 or 5 times, and I think I'm on the 5th one. I don't want to say yes for sure, because I like I said, I can't remember. It's been a while since I actually played this and actually recorded this, so I think it was the 5th one. But this time I'm trying to take no prisoners. And one thing about that air fireball right there, I'm so used to throwing it and so early, because I think their wake up is a little bit faster on Capcom vs SNK 2. So I'm so used to throwing it at an earlier time. So when I throw it, they're like still on the ground. So that's something I need to work on while playing this game. And looks like, do I get her on this one? I can't remember. If I can get her, then I'll go up against Ryu. Yeah, I'll get her on this one. And we're going to go up against Ryu, and hopefully hopefully we can get something done on this one, because like I said, it was a time playing these two. It was really a time. And all right, so we're going up against her again, and that with Sakura, I don't know how well this is going to work out for me, because like I said, I can't remember. I want to say this is the time I actually won, but I don't know. I honestly I can't remember. So I do like my chances that I do have a match over them already. It's not like this is the second or third round and they got to win. So I do have a little bit of a buffer. If I do lose, I still have a chance to win this entire match. So that does help. So Chun-Li is low on power. Oh, that was a good hit right there. Hopefully I can get this over with. Oh, she blocked that. And she parried that. I got another good hit. I'm trying to play keep away. No, ma'am. Stay away, please. Oh, I forgot that one didn't reach. Look like there we go. Look like I got this one. And I'll be going to the next stage. Oh, she parried it, but I got the rest. Come on. Goodness, yeah, there we go with the cross up. Nice cross up kick. I finally get the win after 5 tries. And yeah, we are dancing. We're dancing. Sakura is dancing. All right, so now we're going to the next match, and we face Pyron. I think so. This is another reason why it was difficult, because the second to the last boss, those matches are always somewhat difficult in pretty much any fighting game. So I saw this. I had to pause this for a second, because I was like amazed. Like, I look at like, yo, I'm actually facing this. What is this? Because I never made it this far. I want to say this is a Darkstalker character, but one thing about Darkstalkers, I have not really played all of the Darkstalkers, so I don't remember like the final bosses. And I think that's what it is, because you see the power, the gauge. So, and he looked like he fights just like a Darkstalker character. But nevertheless, he is not, to be honest, he's not as tough as Chun-Li and Ryu was. But he does have some cheesy moves just like any other boss, right? And he loves to teleport. So I had a time with him as well. So, but it was very interesting. That right there, you're going to see a lot of that. He will drive me into the corner, and then he would use like, this is so funny. I saw this. I thought this was so funny. His laughter at the end of the match. I thought that was hilarious. That victory pose. But like I said, this character, he would drive you into the corner, and then he would do this little thing where he's like a spear standing on top of you. I thought that was so cheesy, but that's what happens when you deal with boss fights. It is what it is. So I had to find a way to get around that, and it was a time. It was fun though. Like, this game, like I said before, this game does have its issues, but I do think this is a fun game to play. I really do. And I don't know how much I will really play this game. I may not play it again after this. Maybe for kicks and giggles if I have nothing else to do. But this is not a game that I'm necessarily gravitated towards. Like, see, that's what I'm talking about. See, he drives you in the corner and he does that. You're going to see a handful of that. That victory pose, I thought that was so hilarious. It is crazy. But I don't like me playing this game. Even though I'm playing it, I'm still thinking in the back of my mind as I'm trying to beat this final boss, like, this is not a fighting game that's going to be in my rotation. I'm still going to play the Capcom vs SNKs. I'm still going to play the regular Street Fighters from the Capcom. From the Street Fighter 30th anniversary. I'm still going to play the Marvel vs. Capcom collection, and I'm going to play this particular game as well. But this game in the collection, I probably won't play this again after I get through this one. So it does get intense. It gets intense facing this character. You know, Pyron is. I will say this though. I do like this character. I like him better than Abyss on Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That boss is abysmal. I don't know. They could have done something better with the boss in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but I do like this particular character. I think this boss is actually interesting, and I would like to see him come back in some other form for another game. I doubt it they'll put him in Street Fighter 6. I don't see that, but I like that victory pose. It's a pretty cool victory pose, but I don't see him coming back for Street Fighter 6. They probably want nothing to do with this game and any reference to it, kind of like they do with Darkstalkers. Like, I do like the fact that the Capcom Fighting Collection 1, you did get all the Darkstalker games, which was only released in Japan. That particular collection where you can get all those Darkstalkers, they brought it over here to the West, and that was cool. But they don't really think about Darkstalkers like that anymore. They like whatever, you know. So nevertheless, I did like fighting this boss. I thought the fighting this boss was really interesting. It was fun. And he actually fought like a final boss. Like I said, Capcom versus SNK, even with the bosses were Geese and Bison and respectively, they were just like your typical boss because you've played them before in other games. See, there's that thing again. He gets you in the corner and he does that. But he's like your typical. They're like your typical run-of-the-mill bosses. And even with, you know, this character kind of reminds me a little bit more of the Capcom versus SNK 2 bosses when you fight Shin Akuma or Ultimate or God Rugal. Like, I don't think he's as difficult as those two, especially God Rugal. Oh my God, he's ridiculous. But he does give me that type of vibe when fighting him. Like, you gotta watch certain patterns and certain things that he do that are very cheesy, like those other characters. So he does kind of put me in that realm. He's like a lower tier version of them, but I do enjoy fighting him. It was a really good challenge, and I enjoyed every bit of, you know, fighting Pyron. I mean, I think this is, if anything, that's a bright moment in this game with all of the things that's going on with this game. I do feel like the boss and the way that this boss was portrayed in this game, I do think that they did very well with the boss battle. I think the boss battle was actually pretty solid. You know, I think, you know, this is probably like the only shining moment. And I got a nice super combo finish on him. And yeah, I had to get him. I had to do him because he's been taking me out all game. And I don't know, like, is this the one that I actually finished? I'm not really sure. I think I lose this one. I can't remember. But yeah, but that victory pose is like, he has some of the cheesiest moves. Like, he can hit you when you're laying down. It's like, I don't like that, but that's the thing I'm telling you. Like, he can drive you in the corner, and once you're in the corner, you're done. Like, you want to try your best to stay away from the corner, and he will drive you in the corner with certain moves. And once he gets you there, he will do that little like pose where he's standing on top of you, and it's a wrap. So it is something that you got to be mindful of. See, he did it again. See that right there? I'm surprised I survived it though. But yeah, it's just a thing that he does, and I don't know what this was. I don't know what that was. It was like he threw something in the middle of the air, and like three spears came out, and I don't know if I can actually get around that or not. But nevertheless, Shin Akuma comes back for the final round, and we'll see how this plays out. Like I don't think I won this match. I probably had to use another continue or something. But yeah, this is what I was dealing with. So I feel like this was a really good challenge. It really was. And I thoroughly enjoyed, especially the last part, the boss battle. All the other stuff, the visuals aren't that great. You know, it is what it is. As far as the backgrounds, And there's a lot of broken elements in this game where some characters are extremely OP and some of them are just, they don't belong in the game. And he gets me in the corner, and I promise you, after he hit me with that, the next move would have been him doing that stupid stand on top of you thing. And that victory pose, him laughing, it is awesome. It is absolutely hilarious. So we're going in again, and yeah, we're gonna pick the same two characters. I'm gonna beat this game with these two characters. I was determined at the time. I'm gonna beat this game with these two characters, and you probably see me looking at the game, and I'm like, I'm looking pissed, but I'm really focused. I really want to get a W here, and I don't know if this is going to be the one or the next one. I can't remember. I know by the middle of the match, and probably you would too if you're watching. You made it this far. As a matter of fact, if you made it this far, I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to me ramble about this game that nobody likes, and I really appreciate it. And I hope you become a subscriber, because I got more of this type of stuff coming, but probably from better games, But nevertheless, we still getting in the battle with Pyron, and I don't know. I don't think I defeated him on this one, but we're going to see. I just can't remember. But we're going in, and he whips on the shot, on the uppercut, gets around that, and look, he gets me back in that corner again. And I promise you, he would have done that move where he stands on you. And this laugh is absolutely hilarious. Like, who came up with this? But nevertheless, here we go, round two. And I don't know why I kept Akuma back in. I don't know why I did that. But you look at the life that he's just draining from me off the rip. Like, you gotta find a way not to get hit when you're playing against this character. Especially when you're using Shin Akuma, because he loses like maybe 3 to 4 times much damage. And Secure did not get a chance to get in the game. So there you have it. And it's kind of crazy. So we're going to go in again. And, I was really contemplating on what I'm going to do here with this. I just don't know. Like, what am I doing? Like, am I going to be able to defeat him or whatever the case may be? And I was like really contemplating on that. And here we go. Once again, versus Pyron comes in. And yeah, we're going to see what we do here. I think this is the one that I actually defeated him. I want to say yes. And based on the time of this video, that's probably the case. But I may have one more loss. I don't know. We're going to see. But yeah, here we go. Pyron comes in. We get a big advantage on him. We're not trying to do anything crazy right here. And oh, look at that. And it's like he's all over the place. It's like he's not hitting me, but I'm not hitting him. It's like, here we go. Look at that. Here we go. I hate that move. Like, he goes in there and he does that. I hate this move. It's kind of crazy how bad it is. All right, so Sakura comes in. And here we go. And we get the uppercut in. And he's going to do that crazy teleportation stuff again. I don't think he did it as bad as the first round, but he goes berserk with that sometimes. You just have to run around and jump. But so I tried to hit him with a fireball. That didn't work. There he goes. Tried to catch him. I thought he was gonna come back down, but nope. And we are down. I hate that move. That move is like so cheap, man. Stop it. I mean, that's what boss fights are, right? They do cheap stuff like that. And let's see. It looks like he's going to beat me on this one as well. Yeah. Did I get it? Oh, no, I'm still alive. Oh, wait a minute. Yo. Can I get that? Let's see. I hit him with a crossover. Wow, what a comeback right there. That was crazy. I thought I was going to lose on that one. And there she goes dancing again. I'm going to put Shin Akuma in. I think I'm going to go with Shin Akuma on this, I think. Yeah, I brought Shin Akuma in. And we're going to see how this goes. I think I beat him on this one. I want to say, because you can see by the video mark, it probably is the case. I don't have to fight him again. But here he goes with all that teleporting. And a nice axe kick. I'm still getting to. Oh, what a move! That's what I'm talking about. And then you can see my expression. I was like, "Yo, that was a sick move," and it worked. So I think I get him on that one, and I finally beat it. And I'm just sitting there like, thank God, 'cause I got tired of playing him. I know when I hit him with that super uppercut. I can't remember what's it called. It's a different word. It's not Shinryuken because that's the other name for it. But I get the trophy and I end up winning. And like I said, this was a phenomenal run right here. It took me about 40 minutes to get through it, but it was well worth it. And I wanted to show this with you guys. Like, this is how things are when I be playing the games, and it is really cool to play these games and have fun and enjoy accomplishing, getting a trophy, or just beating a game that you thought was fairly difficult. And even on 4 stars, it was a match, and it was something that I really had to work on, especially those last 2 matches. Ryu and Chun-Li and the fight against Pyron, and yeah, look at that. Sakura like knocks Dan out. Dan, man, poor Dan. But yeah, this is like basically what it is. And overall, I will say I did enjoy playing this. Will I go back and play it again? I'm not sure. I think there's some other trophies in this game that you can get playing this. I think one of them is like you have to play with Sakura. I'm not Sakura, but Ingrid, and you have to fight with Dimitri or something to get another trophy that they have on this game. So I'm not sure if I would do it, but they don't seem like hard trophies, right? So I may do it. And yeah, so I don't know, y'all. I really enjoyed this. Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate everybody who came through. You guys are absolutely awesome. And we're gonna go through this, and once hit the game over screen, that will be the end of the video. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys. Like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to let people know what we're doing over here. Just let people know. Anybody who watches YouTube that you may know or not know, whatever, just share. Sharing it, that let people know what we're doing over here, and that just works. So I'm going to get up out of here. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all take it easy, and y'all be blessed. All right, y'all. Peace.